Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Just getting a couple things organized here real quick to get this training going. Appreciate everybody. I know you've probably been seeing a lot of me, but that's ultimately the goal with stuff specifically about digital marketing. We're going to be doing one of these webinars every single month around a specific topic or sets of topics. So we'll let a couple people join. I know we got a few people hopping on right now. Throughout this presentation, feel free to drop in a comment, a like. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All these amazing things. I know we got a comment coming in. There he is. I don't know what's going on, but I can only sometimes see the comment. Got to get that fixed. But super excited for this particular presentation tonight on how to dominate online in 2024 in your individual industry, right? So I gave this talk last week at JobTread, and we got just an insane amount of feedback. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take this live and basically mimic what I talked about on stage last week, because there's some incredible action items that you can take in order to really own your marketing, whether you're doing this internally, whether you're working with an agency, or a combination of all of that stuff. So that way you can truly dominate your market this year and beyond. So we're going to dive into a presentation similar to what I shared last week, and I'll kind of go over those things, but I want to preface it by this is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to leave some time for some Q&A at the end. But if you have questions throughout this presentation, please feel free to just drop those in the comments. Again, I always love hearing from people, love getting feedback. If you're watching the replay of it, feel free to drop a question or comment in there as well. I'll go back and do that. We're live on multiple platforms right now. Looks like got some comments coming in from Facebook specifically. So I will launch everything right now and get it going, and let's get started. So super excited. Appreciate you all taking some time. I know it's obviously night, and you guys got a lot going on. So this means a lot for you to be here, a lot for you to obviously support me and learn a little bit about how to take matters into your own hands and put yourself in a position to be successful online. So I'm going to go over this presentation right here. I'm going to have everything pulled up on my phone as well. So as comments, things like that are coming in, I'll hopefully be able to kind of manage a little bit of both of those things. So let's get started. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Looks like we have it good to go, and we're ready to rock and roll. So here we go. How to dominate your market online in 2024. So the first thing, obviously, if you're here, my goal is that you are looking to dominate 2024. And I'm going to teach you specifically some things here today. I hope your hands are raised virtually, of course. When I was doing this in person, of course, most people, not the entire room's hand went up. But we're going to talk about how you can dominate this year. And of course, one of the things is I work with contractors and local service-based businesses and businesses of a lot of different industries. And they always say, hey, Adam, I want more leads. So if you're watching this and you're like, man, I want more leads, then you're going to want to pay attention. So if you're wanting more leads and you would want 100 more leads, if I said, hey, Adam, I'm talking to you, I can drop 100 more leads into your business. Is that something that you would be excited in? 100 more leads literally next month. Is that something? And feel free to put in the comments that this would excite you, right? Everybody gets excited. Everybody says, hey, Adam, I need more leads. I need more leads right now. It's more competitive than ever than it's been in the marketplace. Cost per clicks, ads, all these things are more expensive than they've ever been before. And I need to grow my business in 2024. Well, who can actually handle 100 more leads? I love everybody that comes and talks with us, but so many people want 100 more leads, but they don't have the fulfillment to actually be able to handle 100 more leads. They don't have enough people working. They don't have the processes and systems in place. They don't have the things that they would actually be able to handle the intake under 100 more leads. So as people are saying, yes, I want more leads, I want more leads, I want more leads, I would just encourage you to actually understand how many new leads you can actually take and not just say, I want more leads. And we're going to dive into some of that stuff here in a second. What if I told you that if I sent you 100 more leads next month, that only one of those leads were actually your ideal client? Listen, I run multiple other companies outside of our digital marketing agency that are in service-based businesses, just like the ones that we serve, and many of you that are watching this video. We don't want more leads. We want more quality leads, right? And so what if I told you that I gave you 100 more leads, or the marketing agency that you're looking to hire says, hey, Adam, I can get you 100 more leads. Is that actually exciting? Because what if only one of those leads was actually your ideal client for whatever reason? Maybe the other 99 are spam leads or people that are 30, 40, 50 miles away from your business, or it's a low ticket project and you just think they're going to be a headache. I would encourage you, because while you're chasing those 100 leads, you're making the calls, you're doing all that stuff, you only had one lead in there that was actually your ideal client. And while you were chasing the 99 people that were never going to do business with you for one reason or another, your one ideal client went and signed up with your competitor because your competitor wasn't chasing the shiny object of those 100 leads as a whole. So I just want to encourage you, as we're talking about all of this stuff, we're going to walk through a framework of what will help you understand what you actually do want so you can get more of those quality leads. Now, what if I said, instead of those 100 leads all over the place, that I could send you 5 high quality leads that were your ICP, were your ideal client profile? Now the conversation shifts. You start to raise your hand back up. You start to say, that's a little bit more what I want. I'd rather have 5 of the Miss Smith projects that were incredible, that were the ticket price that I wanted to sell at. It was our most profitable project in a zip code where I would love to go do all of her neighbors, right? And it was an easy process, all things considered. She was a great customer. She had the means. I didn't have to go back and forth. She wasn't comparing me to 6 other people, chuck in a truck type companies. Like, she knew, she understood the value. And we won this deal not because we were the cheapest or the lowest option, but because the value was there and Mrs. Smith understood that. So let's go find 5 more of the Mrs. Smiths, right? Let's go find that. A little bit about myself. So I know a lot of you all know specifically about me. That's probably why you're here. You know Height Digital, or those different aspects. This is a picture of my family. So it's my lovely wife, Delaney, our dog, Georgie, and our newborn, Murphy. They are the why behind why I go and speak at all these events, why I do as much content as I do, because I am an entrepreneur and I ultimately grow by helping more people, by providing more value, by getting people this type of information. And trust me, it's not always fun showing up each and every single day, doing what I do, traveling and going to these events and taking care of so many of you all, putting you in my ecosystem and doing all these things. I don't take that lightly. But at the end of the day, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So they are at the foundation of everything that I do. So I always like to share that. You've probably, if you've seen any of my presentations, you've seen some of these slides before. But I always like to touch on that because they are the why. So I'm going to take a quick drink of water real quick. Here's what we're going to go over today. So here's what you can expect. We're going to talk about 5 steps to ultimately dominate in 2024. Step number 1, we're going to talk about understanding your ICP. I'm going to walk you through an ideal client exercise. I walked a lot of people through this on the personal branding webinar. I walked an insurance agency through this today. I walked plenty of people through this at JobTread last week. We're going to help you understand who to market to, so that way you're not marketing to everybody. We're going to teach you how to have the right mindset about business and marketing. We're going to discuss a holistic marketing approach. A lot of people think they can just do SEO, or they can just do ads, or they can just do word of mouth and consistently grow. Again, we've already talked on this. I already touched on this. It is harder than ever to acquire ideal client profile leads in today's age. So I'm going to talk about how you can have multiple lines in the water. More importantly, how you can take the data that you have, collect it, leverage it, so that way you can win. A lot of people don't understand, but you can literally turn digital marketing into a video game. Do more of what's working and less of what's not. Collect the data, leverage the data, and win. And then we're going to wrap things up by talking about being so consistent that you're always top of mind. So it kind of ties in together with that holistic marketing approach, collecting and leveraging the data. So that way you can be so consistent where people always know, like, and trust you. And then at the end, I'm going to launch and kind of talk about our new core offer. Again, this isn't a Hite digital sales pitch. This is a value provided situation. All these things that I'm going to talk to you about here today, you can implement on your own. You can work with your current agency. You can hire somebody in-house to do all this stuff. Or if you're interested, I'll tell you what we've been offering our new clients over the last couple of weeks. And the feedback has been absolutely incredible. We have signed up multiple clients on these packages, and I'll kind of walk through those things here at the end. But again, ask questions, please, throughout the entire presentation. So a little bit about me and my core values in our business. They are in the acronym of trust. So I focus on taking action. I focus on results that matter. I focus on utilizing resources, setting expectations, and ultimately transforming lives. For me, I'm taking action by obviously putting this presentation together. I spoke last week at JobTread. It went incredible. And I wanted to take action even further and get this out to more people. I focus on results that matter, right? Our team does that. We focus consistently in working with our clients on results that matter. The main reason I should say that you should be doing marketing and advertising is not vanity metrics. It's return on investment, return on ad spend. I do X, I get X back. And I want to do more of it because it's working, right? All the impressions and the clicks and the vanity metrics, like, yes, they do tell a story, but if we're not focused on return on investment in the beginning and working our way back, it doesn't really matter. We're going to talk about how you can utilize different resources, technology, strategies, different platforms, et cetera, ultimately to get the results that you're looking for. I also want to set the right expectations. And I believe in marketing and advertising, one of the biggest issues, and this is whether you're working with an agency or not, the reason why marketing or advertising typically fails more so than people not fulfilling what they do. Don't get me wrong. There are people that you will pay that you don't get what you're looking for, and that's 100% not okay. But usually it's in communication and expectation setting. And some of these are if you're running your own ads or you're doing your own marketing or you have somebody in-house, you have unrealistic expectations of what's actually possible. So I'm a big believer in literally under promising and over delivering. What does like the worst case scenario in this situation look like? Now, I don't like talking about that, but I'd rather set that expectation than be like, hey, we can generate 100 leads for you next month, or we can get you to the first page of Google in 90 days. The things that a lot of people out there talk about, and we have this inception in our mind that that's actually possible, and it's not. And ultimately, I want to bring this all together by transforming lives, right? So this helps one person, which I know it absolutely will help one person. We've had multiple people on this live already commenting, liking, and sharing all this stuff. I know it's going to impact somebody. But I also want to make sure that you are taking one or two of these things and going to implement them and not trying to implement everything that I talked to you about here today. All right, cool. Let's continue to move forward. So a little bit of background and qualifications on us at Hite Digital, because I always like to preface this. Like if I'm going to learn somebody and I'm going to take what they're saying and go implement it, obviously I've started multiple companies just from SEO and digital marketing, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But Hite Digital, right? A little bit on our journey. So we were a white label agency starting in 2017. So we were the agency behind the agency. A lot of marketing agencies actually aren't doing the work in-house. They're hiring it out to a third-party fulfillment company. They're selling one thing, and then they're providing all of that information over to the agency. And we were the agency doing that. In 2020, we decided to go the franchise model route, which I became a franchisee, and now I'm a partner at all of Hite. We still serve our franchisees, of course, and we go direct to businesses through our Hite corporate model. But we were literally an agency behind the agency for a couple of years and decided to make that pivot because we wanted to offer clients like yourself the benefits of working with a large marketing agency, because there's plenty of benefits in doing those. We have over 100 team members. We manage multi-million-dollar a month ad spends. We have all the data. We have all the strategies, but you get the perks of working with a small boutique agency. Again, hundreds of employees, over a couple hundred clients, bringing stability to an unregulated industry. Anybody and their brother and sister can start a marketing agency, right? There's no regulation like you would see in insurance or real estate, or having a license that's needed in contracting if you're anywhere but Texas. Those are all the different things that is why marketing is so wrong, because anybody can make it seem like they have a big agency. Anybody can make it seem as if they're successful in all of those things when they're actually not. We were an Inc. 5000 agency the past 2 years in the top 1,000. So enough about us. Let's get back to you and let's start providing some value. Okay, great. Now we got all that stuff squared away. We're going to dive into understanding your ICP or ideal client profile. I want to start by the preface. Again, you'll hear me talk about this a lot, is you don't need more leads. You need the right leads. And I've walked through this exercise before. You've probably heard it, but I recommend, and I walk through companies on this exercise all the time. Take the best 10 clients that you've ever had, or if you can only take 5 clients for one reason or another, take whatever that number is and compare that to your last 10 clients or your last 10 projects. Write down 5 to 10 things about each of those in both of those different segments. Compare and contrast the zip code of where they're at, what the family looked like, size looks like. So there was a married couple with 2 or 3 kids, what their house size was, because this is going to be for a lot of like contractors and local service-based business. So on Zillow is a $500,000 plus house. And then talk about like what their experience specifically was. So they compared us to 2 different offers, whatever that might be. And then you're going to start to create like a best 10 client, like this is our ICP. And then this is our ICP of the last 10 clients. The goal is to see if there's any discrepancies, because we all know who our ideal client is. We all know the projects that like we would absolutely love more of. But what tends to happen in the winter months, what tends to happen when leads aren't where they need to be, is we go take on work that we shouldn't be taking on because we feel like we need the business. We need the money. Well, make sure that you're not steering so far over in that other direction that your entire marketing and advertising starts to go all over the place, right? So you're like, hey, this is who we're marketing to. This is our ICP. This is who we really, really want more business of. But then we start to take the clients that we don't want, the clients that we absolutely despise for whatever reason. We don't want to get to that point. Then you have crafted your ICP. And I recommend repeating this activity on a quarterly basis to see if you have veered away from who that ideal client is, 1. And 2, if issues arise, go back to this as a foundation. So if you're like, wow, we are really, really bringing on clients that we shouldn't be bringing on, you need to go back here and reset the foundation. So that way you ultimately get back to where you're at. And I'll go through specifically why here in a second. Here is an example of an ICP that we've done for Hike Digital, for example. Home service, contracting business, or professional services. So we work with law firms, dentist office, other types of businesses. Essentially, if somebody is going to Google and typing in something near them or emergency or whatever, the business that they're ultimately looking for, the service that we're looking for, that's who we can help. We like to work with companies that have been in business for at least 3+ years. So they're not going to go out of business anytime soon. They're not on startup capital. They're not on all of those different things. They're using a CRM of some sorts. Again, the last thing people need is more leads a lot of times. You need the right leads, but if you can't handle an influx of leads that we're going to send you, you probably don't need to be putting a bunch of money into marketing and advertising. Then from there, they're typically doing $500,000 a year plus in revenue. Someone other than the owner is managing the sales and marketing internally, right? And the reason why we say this is because we want to meet with you on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis to go over everything with our client experience and account management team. It's really tough if you're on the roof or in a house and you're the person managing that and something comes up and you're like, hey, Adam, I have to go out to the client's house or whatever. I can't get off the project. And we're taking Zoom calls where we're diving into lead flow, diving into data, and you're literally in the truck. It's really tough. So having an admin, having an internal marketing person, having somebody else other than yourself as the owner, at least manage the relationship and be the person that we meet with, it goes so much better and smoother. Once you have your ICP, then you know who to market and target. That way you're not marketing to everybody. So if I were to hop on this live right now, just to use as an example, hey, at Hike Digital, we help anybody with a business. you're listening to this and you're like, Adam, yeah, okay, you and every other marketing agency out there. But based on what I just saw, you're probably looking at yourself, not that you're in the market. If you are, obviously we can help, but you're probably looking at this and be like, okay, this is either me or it's not me, or I know somebody that I can refer to Adam, because Adam clearly defined who's his ICP and who is not his client. I had multiple people come up to me at JobTread last week and be like, hey, Adam, you literally spoke to me. I'm ready to go. I know exactly who you're targeting, and I'm that guy, right? Or gal. So that's why we do that, right? Holistically, it makes it easier. And if you market to everyone, essentially, again, you're marketing to no one. And if you are marketing to no one, or essentially marketing to everyone as well, you're going to get more of these worst clients, the clients that are the callbacks, the clients that are the headaches, the clients that likely will leave you a 1-star Google review, unless everything under the sun happens in a perfect storm. And it just so happens to be a perfect situation, which we know business never ultimately is. The next aspect, you need to have the right mindset about your business and marketing and how they tie together. I'm going to show you some things here in a second and truly help you understand why this is so important. You are not the business, right? You are not X, Y, and Z. So you need to stop being just a contractor, or insert whatever industry that you're in. You need to stop that. You need to stop just being a salesperson. I hear from all the time, right? People are literally like, hey, Adam, I just lost another sales guy and he went and started his own company. I hear it all of the time. Well, great. They're just a salesperson running a company. And you can't outsell bad processes and systems. You can't outsell all of the things that you need to know from the fulfillment side of doing a specific project or service. So you have to stop being just a salesperson. And you need to start being a marketer yourself. The people that I know that are crushing it literally online are the ones that are like, yes, we do have a deck building company. We do have a roofing company. We do have X, Y, and Z company. But more than anything, we're really good at generating leads. We're really good at marketing. And sometimes they're using an agency. Sometimes they're doing it in-house. But if you want to be really, really good in market in 2024 and dominate this year and beyond, you have to start thinking about marketing first. Because if you can't market, right? And I'm talking about marketing, and I'll show you the different types of marketing we'll talk about. I'm talking as much as or as little as word of mouth, a referral program, going to local networking events. If you're not doing any of that, you're never going to grow your business. So it doesn't matter how amazing of projects that you build. I talk with people and they send me pictures of their projects. I'm like, man, that's a freaking badass project. Like, that's an amazing pool. That's such a cool outdoor living setup. But they're like, Adam, I can't find more people to ultimately buy this stuff. So do they have a sales problem? Sure, potentially. Do they have a project problem, or like what they're actually doing? No, they're freaking crushing it. Their problem is they can't go find more people to build the widget, right? That's where all this stuff comes in. The most dominant companies in 2024 and beyond will be marketing companies that just so happen to do contracting X, Y, or Z. It's just the name of the game. People do business with top of mind people that they know, like, and trust. It's all about who knows you, not who you know. Who knows you, not who you know. These are all different brands that I've literally started out of just digital marketing. So everybody's like, Adam, SEO is freaking dead. Digital marketing doesn't work. My auto glass company right here, we literally started that in 2021. We get over 1,000 leads a month. We're the #1 results on Google. Our website's always in the top 3. We have 5 trucks on the road. It's a growing business, and 90% of our business comes from our Google business profile and our website SEO. Like, I can't make this stuff up, right? So where so many people go wrong is they're like, man, I'm working with a marketing agency and I don't necessarily know if they actually understand what it's like to run a business. And I don't think they understand the impact, the negative and the positive impact that digital marketing can have. Well, I also started a landscape design company that's turned into a joint venture. We started that in 2021. I don't know anything about any of these industries. I did a live about the Christmas light installation website that I built. I'm building all these assets that are out there, ranking them and their Google business profile, and then I'm selling off the leads. And then ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip those into businesses. So these two were like ones that I actually started. These three, I'm all going to go into existing brands and companies and be like, hey, I have more leads than you're currently generating right now. Let's work out some sort of deal. I can bring the marketing and advertising wing to your company and revamp everything. So the photo booth company, I didn't put that on here, but that's an example. I know I posted about that a week or so ago. I now have a partnership with a photo booth rental company because I did exactly just this, right? So I'm building websites, I'm building assets, I'm doing all of these things. And they're the same services that we offer our clients. So we get it, right? A lot of marketing agencies just don't. And in 2020, when I was going to try to start this, the last thing I wanted to do was start an auto glass company. But we were generating 300, 400 leads a month. I went to every freaking local competitor in St. Louis and I was like, hey, I have this freaking gold mine. Will you just take this off my hands? Essentially pennies on the dollar. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I tried to work my way up the ladder at SafeLight. Literally, SafeLight. You guys spend tens of thousands of dollars a month just in St. Louis on PPC, on radio advertising and TV. Why would you not buy this asset? Nobody believed me, right? Nobody believed me. Well, then I started this company, and not only were we already ranking and generating those things, now we are the second highest rated auto glass company in St. Louis after just being in business for 3 years. We're getting more calls. I talk with a lot of the other auto glass companies now. I know them, and they're like, wow, I wish I would have taken you up on that offer, because not only did they not take me up on my offer, but I became their biggest competitor from an online standpoint, right? And now they're having to spend so much freaking money, like disgusting amounts of money on Google ads and Facebook ads just to keep up. So if you're not taking advantage of some of these things and you're not taking these things seriously, your competition will 100% pass you by. So when we talk about a holistic marketing approach, I always say don't be a one-trick pony. So there's all different types of strategies that you can do between organic and paid. When you talk about the organic stuff, again, that's going to be your social media posting. That's going to be search engine optimization, local Facebook groups, Nextdoor, YouTube, podcasting, all of those types of things, word of mouth. Then on the paid side, you got Google PPC, you got Google Guaranteed Local Service ads, you got Facebook ads, you got pay-per-lead, billboards, direct mail, text, and email marketing. So I always segment those things as you got to have both, right? And you got to figure out what works for your business more so than others. But you can't just do organic and you can't just do paid. So here's some budget recommendations based on where you're at. So if you're like a business that's just getting started or you have no marketing budget, I'm going to tell you and literally give you the game of what you should be starting with and what you should be doing. So regardless of your budget, you should always be marketing. So if you have no budget, you should be going to community events, handing out more business cards, letting people know who you are. Of course, you should also be posting consistently on your personal and business pages and in local Facebook groups, door knocking, of course, and building a referral program, right? Basically a pay per commission setup for people to refer business back to you, right? And you should be trying to figure out, how do I go get more referrals? So that's if you have no budget. If you have $5,000 a month in total, right? So this is between ad spend and management. If you're working with an agency or if you're doing this internally, I would then add on search engine optimization and Google PPC or LSA at about a $3K a month minimum. Again, if everything checks out and you're able to do this, not to say you can't do this with less ad spend, but this is typically where I would be budgeting everything if it were me. And then if you're like, hey, I can spend 10K plus a month, you would do a more advanced SEO package. So for example, when you work with us, we don't have different services in our SEO package. Whether you get our basic SEO package all the way through our top line SEO package, the deliverables are the same. You just get more content, more new pages a month, more Web 2.0 backlinks and press releases, more. So I would be doing that. I would be increasing the amount that you're spending on pay-per-click and LSA, maxing out at about 6K a month or more if you wanted to, and then incorporating some Facebook ads. So I'm going to touch on this in a second once I have a drink of water. Everybody loves Facebook ads because it used to be so easy. You used to be able to launch Facebook campaigns and literally almost print money in any individual service, right? But it has obviously changed. The algorithms have changed. Remarketing and retargeting has gotten harder. So we always recommend at some point implementing about $500 a month, and you can scale this up, right? For things like brand awareness, remarketing, and retargeting. You're not going to generate the leads that you used to, but you can still generate leads from it. I just would go there last of all of the individual things. Again, this being that you own a local service area or multi-service area based business. You're going out to homes or businesses, right? So it's really important that we talk about collecting and leveraging data so that you can win. The companies that are the best at marketing and advertising and the ones that never struggle to know what their return on investment is that they know your number or their numbers in marketing down to the exact source and with some of these variables. So overall cost per lead, the time it takes when lead comes into initial contact, what the overall closing rate is, the gross profit on that job, the lead to appointment ratio, the cost per appointment, the cost per acquisition, and obviously the net profit from the overall job, right? So what our net profit is. You want to make sure that you know all of these numbers also down to the traffic source. So SEO gets X, PPC gets X, local service ads gets X, and Facebook gets this, door knocking gets this, direct mail, X, Y, and Z, right? So you want to make sure that you know all those things down to the source. And this is just a client of ours that we worked with in the contracting space. So you can see in a month that they were doing SEO and Google ads, and they quoted about $300,000 of business of leads that came in, and they were able to quote in that month, and they sold $130,000 of business that came in from said lead and that closed in that same month. Now, that's not to say the other 21 leads that they haven't actually been able to quote or sell yet. And that's not to say that the 24 quotable leads didn't ultimately turn into projects after. We're just talking about lead in and lead out in same month. So 1 out of every 3 leads came in. They were actually able to verify that it was a quotable lead and they were going to be able to get a chance to quote said project. With all the spam that goes out there, with all the chaos that goes out there between contact forms and phone calls, this is pretty freaking good. So they were able to at least see this. And right, you have to track the data ultimately in order to know these numbers. Taking it one step further, they were able to see that of that 130,000, 119 came from SEO sources. Now, this is a company, we redesigned their website. We had been doing SEO for a year and a half. PPC had only been going for a couple of months. So I share these things for 2 different reasons. They're getting a 59x top line return on investment with SEO specific stuff. So you see Google Organic there, you see Yahoo Organic. I'm actually going to show you that Yahoo Organic lead because it's a really cool story. But like Yahoo Organic, which is still surprisingly around, the Google Business Profile, Bing, DuckDuckGo, places where most people are like, hey, I'm not even paying attention to those platforms. Well, I recommend you start paying attention to those platforms. And I share the Google ads because usually this is like a loss leader or a break-even standpoint for a lot of companies that are out there. They think that these ads are just going to freaking print money, but it takes a while to optimize campaigns in order to do it. And the organic leads are typically a higher ticket, easier to close, and better clients than people that are just clicking ads, filling out their information, and then they're going to go get quotes from multiple other people. Not that you can't get a return on investment, not that it can't be successful, but I just preface by saying that. So this is a lead that came in, need roofing, siding, gutters, soffit, and fascia, $29,000 sale that came specifically from Google Organic, the Google Business Profile with SEO. This $24,000 job came in from a landing page that we had actually built on the back end of the website. So the cool thing about this here, and I know it's kind of tough to see, you can see the page at which they converted on. So as you're doing SEO, as you're adding in more pages, for example, this is a company where we added a siding page in a small suburb where they wanted to get more business in, and somebody typed in siding plus that area or near me, and this landing page popped up and outranked the homepage and outranked all of their competitors. And it was a $24,000 job that came specifically from a page that we had literally added because of SEO. So that's the impact of this stuff. This is another company that the previous highest month before they ever worked with us was 325,000. They sell actual products. The first month they worked with us, 397. The next month was 433 in June. We were obviously changing some strategies and things like that, but we were really just tweaking and optimizing and doing different things in order to take the data and be like, where can we be more lethal? Where can we understand where return on investment's coming on? 3 months later, July, the biggest month ever, we were 200K month over month growth from any previous highest month before we started. So those are the things that when you take these things seriously and leverage and collect the data, you can absolutely get more success out of it, right? So the next thing we'll talk about is being so consistent that you're always top of mind, right? So it's easy, right? It's so simple. So I show my personal pages, but the same thing can go for your business pages. Facebook is where I get a lot of traction. So obviously a lot of you all have been connected with me from there, but then we go get connected on LinkedIn. We go get connected on TikTok. We go get connected because you listen to my podcast or watch my YouTube videos. And the thing that I hear and see from people all the time is they're like, Adam, I can't go to one of these platforms without seeing you there. That's literally the goal and the idea is you want to be in as many places as you possibly can. And people buy in different ways. They buy because they see you over and over again, or they see me recommended over and over again when somebody's looking for digital marketing and I'm tagged, right? No different than your business in your local communities, right? So you want to make sure that you're continuing to grow and build that. And then if they want to go do specific research on our company, or they see something about Height and they're like, all right, I'm going to go check this out. Well, if you type in digital marketing St. Louis, which is like obviously a keyword that we try to rank for, and we're competing against every other digital marketing agency that's in St. Louis, that everybody specializes, quote unquote, in digital marketing. And we're the number one ranked result, two behind in Clutch, which is like an online directory, which is like Yelp. We're literally right there, right? And we've been in business for a fraction of the time that these other people have been in business in. And we've been on the first page of Google since about 6 months for that main keyword. We get multiple leads a week coming in from our Google business profile and our website, leveraging the exact same services, again, that we do for our clients. Not to mention, we have over 100 5-star Google reviews. So anywhere somebody would go to look to like validate Adam McChesney, validate Height Digital, all of these different things, you're able to clearly see and identify that the track record progresses from one thing to the next. That's why all of these things, it's not always just one platform usually that ends up getting you your ideal client. It's all of these things combined together. Not everybody buys the same way. So you got to meet people ultimately where they're at. And I've seen people say between 7 touches and 8 touches, but most recently I've seen 8. It's like, okay, you need to touch somebody about 8 times before they ultimately buy something from you, right? So if you're only doing one thing, or you're not following up with people, you're calling somebody and you're like, man, you're telling your team, or you're telling your sales guy, or you're telling your, your marketing agency, these leads don't work. Well, I called them once. I never left a voicemail. Or maybe I left a voicemail, but then I didn't text them. I didn't send an email. And then that was it. You need to make sure that you're getting all these different touch points to take advantage of the leads that you already have, to be able to then go maximize the new leads, right? So a lot of times people are like, man, I just need more leads because the leads that I have right now aren't good. Well, not only do you turn away the people that already raised their hand and were interested because the shiny object comes in and you get a bunch more of these leads. Well, not only are you going in that direction, but you're forgetting about the people that already raised their hand, right? So super important. So we're going to be finishing up here in a second. Then I'm going to kind of go over the core offer, talk about a lot of the stuff that, again, if you're interested in what we have going on with this, which I'm really excited to share, it kind of brings all this stuff full circle. Feel free to drop those comments, questions, things like that in the section below. So now, who is ready to dominate 2024? Who is looking to take things to the next level? Whether you got an action plan from this session, what you're actually going to go do for yourself, or you're like, okay, hey, I'm looking potentially for a little bit more. If you're looking for an agency to help you dominate, right? Height can be that agency. We can absolutely help you. So I want to show you and kind of unveil our new core offers. So it's 3 different offers. And I'll kind of walk through each individual of these here shortly. But this is what we did last week. I did this exact same presentation. We then launched the offer, started signing up people from the JobTread community and signing up people that reached out to us over the past couple of weeks. We were testing some of this stuff in the background, and we realized that there was a huge void in the digital marketing agency space for a couple of different reasons. So again, if you're in the market and interested in looking, feel free to shoot me a message. You're going to have a QR code here at the end, along with some freebies on how you can sign up for a call with our team. But what we saw is in order to be really successful in a lot of competitive markets, you need to have about a 25-page website. So a 25-page website, of course, can be very expensive. It can take a very, very long time. It can be all of these different things. So what we decided to do is, instead of being like, hey, you got to pay this big lump sum on a 25-page website, and then you have to then pour gasoline on the fire with SEO, with ads, all of these different things. We're just going to put it all in this package together. And I'm sure there's people that are doing this a little bit similar in some sort of fashion, right? But what we typically see is somebody will charge a large upfront fee. Let's just call it $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a 25-page website, or even a lesser page website from there. They're either going to charge you that upfront, or they're going to spread it out over 6 or 12 months, and you're going to own that website, which is great. You want to own that. But then they're going to be like, hey, Adam, in order to really get this thing work, I understand you just bought the Ferrari, right? You bought the Ferrari, you bought the website that you need, but you need to spend another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in order to get this Ferrari to actually drive. And then there's other companies that are like, hey, we can do it for $2,500, $3,000, $3,500 a month, but we own the website. So you're basically renting the website from us. And if you ever decide to leave from us, oh yeah, and we're automatically making you do a year contract, that you ultimately don't own that stuff after. So after the year is gone, not only do you not have what you're looking for, but they took your website down. So we're creating this new offer. We took the pros and cons from everything that we heard out in the market, from our current clients, from our past clients, all those things, and we created this offer stack right here. So what we have here is the digital launch pad. So it starts out with a 25-page SEO optimized website. So if you're in the market for a website, this is where you would start. It's going to take us about 2 months to create the 25-page website. Now, you might be wondering, 25-page website, why do I need that? Well, if you're a local or more multi-location service-based business where you go out to people's homes or businesses, you're in remodeling, you're in construction, you're in roofing, you're in landscaping, you're in all those areas, that's what it takes at minimum to get started to truly have a lot of ranking keywords in addition to all the other SEO stuff that we do, because you can't rank something that is relatively bare bones. This thing is going to look nice. It's our blueprint to domination, but it also is going to have the gas in the website, SEO optimized website, and we're going to be baking some things on top of it, right? So as we're building this 25-page website, we're already going to start helping you optimize your local service ads. Now, you can go do these local service ads on your own. What we're going to help you do is just manage the lead flow. So you can actually get credit back from Google if it's a bogus lead. And if you're spending a bunch of money on that platform, it can get really difficult to keep up with. So we're going to manage that lead flow for you, our account manager and our team will. So that way you're actually saving money versus we had some clients come to us and we're like, wow, you guys are getting charged a ridiculous amount from Google because you don't have the time to go back and manage and understand your return on investment. We're also going to take care of your Google business profile while we're building the website, right? So it takes 2 months for us to build the website. Once that website's launched, you get our full-blown SEO package. You already have this 25-page website, and you're going to get 2 hours of website support. So you need updates, etc. We'll take care of it. You want new widgets, X, Y, and Z, while taking care of your hosting as well. And so what we're doing here is it's $2,500 a month if you want to sign up for a year, or it's $3,000 a month for 6 months. Now, this is our management. This is not the ad spend that you would pay for local service ads, but it is on the surface level what you would be paying essentially to get a 25-page website with no gas in it, at market value for what we're building. Our goal here is to have that website already start performing for you. So as we're launching that website at month 3, we're already doing some lead gen services to help drive in traffic to your online presence and to your business so that you're paying off the website while then continuing to stack, and build. So this is the evergreen pricing on that. We'll continue to build and stack. Again, if you sign a year contract or 6 months, we'll just go month to month after that. But you own the website at this point, right? So you don't have to worry about going and getting a new website. If anything happens, you want to take it and go do your own thing, you can. You're essentially getting all these other bells and whistles absolutely quote unquote free. It's just a value stack. It's the Hermosi style type stuff. So that's offer here. Then we have our digital domination offer. So this is adding in Google Ads management as well as Facebook ads management. And again, those are things that we can all get started, implement, etc. And you're paying the ad spend directly to those platforms. So our management goes to $3,000 or $3,500 a month. And then we have our digital acceleration package. So we're an agency. Very few of the agencies that are out there typically will be like, hey, we can work with your existing website. So as long as you have a WordPress website, as long as you have a Duda website, even a Webflow, those types of platforms that are good for SEO, we'll just take the back end of that website and continue to build and stack. So that's where you'll see this other package over here. Again, if you want a little bit of everything to be able to go and do that. The aspect of the ads management is one thing that I'm really excited about, because where most people start running ads or hire somebody to run ads is when it's too late. Calls aren't there, leads aren't there, business isn't there, job's not there. I'm going to go hire somebody to start running those ads. We want to have these campaigns already set up, ready to go, spending a little bit of money every single month. So that way, when you need it to scale up, you're ready to go. And we're not going through all these crazy optimization periods of figuring out the newest, latest, and greatest and all that stuff. And the reason why you can do that and continuously spend a little bit of money over time is because we're not charging you $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 per platform. This is just an all-encompassed package that's going to get you what you want and be able to increase and decrease or even pause over time without being like, man, we got to start, we got to stop, right? So that's ultimately why we came to the conclusion on these different packages. So I'll be wrapping things up here shortly. You can book a call with Demi. You can send me a message. We'll get you all squared away, get something booked on the calendar. We're booked out most of the rest of the week because we had 15 plus appointments from literally people last week being like, hey, I haven't seen anything like this in this format, in the way that you guys are presenting it at the price point. This is almost a no-brainer. Like, sign me up. We had multiple people just hand over their credit cards last week, which I've been at multiple events. I've never literally seen that. So the buzz is absolutely there for this. So this is a free PDF download. And if you, for whatever reason, missed this, if you're watching the replay or you didn't get a chance to take a picture of it, just shoot me a message. I can send you over the free PDF download. This is for quote unquote contractors, but it's really for any local service-based business or really any business of any kind. We have multiple free PDFs on how to help you dominate your online market here in 2024 and beyond. And then this is a link to Demi's calendar. So you can get synced up on Demi's calendar, book that strategy and free digital audit call. But that's about all I have wrapped up here tonight. I'll take a look to see if we have any questions, things like that. So if you do have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave those so that way I can get those answered here in real time in a couple of minutes. Let's go STL represent. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, man? Down with more leads. Awesome. More leads is always good if they're the right leads. Preach. Looks like somebody tagged their buddy. We got clarity is powerful. Of course it is. Burr, what's up? Cassandra, what's up? Dustin, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Cool. Well, it doesn't look like we have any other questions or anything like that. So I will end this here. If you do have any questions, if there is anything else that we can answer for you or anything like that, just let us know. And I really appreciate you tuning in to tonight's live. Again, we're going to be doing one of these digital marketing type webinars once a month. So stay tuned for the next one. And if you need anything digital marketing related, or you just have questions, right? You're a little bit lost. You're like, hey, all this stuff is great, but I don't know where to start. Feel free to shoot me a message. I'll make sure that we get you taken care of. Appreciate you.